Sunfire Kha'Zix. Yeah, look, I don't know either. I really don't know. I don't know how this build works, but it does, and it's hilarious. You're tanky, you still deal damage, and you become a mobile, unkillable monster. It's super funny, and today we're checking it out. Credit goes to Fade, aka AWildShinyKha, for coming up with this build. He's a Grandmaster Kha'Zix player on EU, and I'll link his stuff in the description if you want to check him out. But yeah, let's cut the talk. Let's just get into this Sunfire Cape Kha'Zix game. Yes, I wasn't joking. We are playing Sunfire Kha'Zix this game. I don't know. Listen, man, I don't know. I don't know why this is a thing, or like why it's been developed, but it has. And credits to Fade, or aka AWildShinyKha, who is a Grandmaster peak jungler on EU. Plays Kha'Zix a lot, and he came up with this Sunfire Kha'Zix build, which is just crazy to me. I'm like, what the hell is this? This is essentially somewhat tank Kha'Zix. And the shocking thing is that it actually works. Like, I don't know. I was playing this game, and I was just blown away by how interesting this build is. But yeah. Okay, so just to give a quick rundown, the runes I'm running are Conqueror, of course, with Triumph, Alacrity, and Coup de Grace. I don't run Tenacity here because I was like, yeah, I probably don't need the CC reduction. But yeah, on top of that, we're running double adaptive with health, and we're also running Treasure Hunter with Eyeball Collection, which is apparently the way to go here. I mean, Treasure Hunter just is going to help you get over the terrible Sunfire build path. So there's that. And Eyeball Collection is very good for snowballing and giving you that extra AD to actually be useful. So yeah, I'm sorry if you can hear background noise, by the way. But you know, it is what it is. Okay, so I'm gonna decide to go for level 3 clear here, just 3 camped clear, because I know this top lane is very aggressive. It's a Riven versus Fiora. They both have Ignite, so it's a very, very aggressive matchup, and I'm thinking that I can probably get an early gank off. Yeah, so that's the play. And on top of that, if I do, I will get my runes stacking, so that'll be good. Gonna hit level 3, and I'm gonna walk up here. And you see the Riven going in quite nicely. She's used pretty much everything, Ignite drops. And we're just gonna jump on her with ease and pick up a very quick kill, a first blood, just like that. Very, very juicy. Okay, so now I'm just gonna, I have plans to go into my wolves here, but then I realized Wukong is level 3 ganked bot without clearing his top side, so this is basically free for me, free camps. I'm pretty much safe here. I'm just going to jump over the wall, and we're going to take his red. So the thing with this build is you don't want to instantly start building the Sunfire. You want to get the double longsword. You want to get two longswords so that you can actually be useful early game. So the early game is really nothing too special aside from, you know, your regular Kha'Zix gameplay. And the real kicker is when you start building into the Sunfire, and then you get the Sunfire, and it's like, well, shit. What the hell? Okay, so I'm going to repeat gank this because she has, like, the wave is in a very good position for us, and Riven is out of position for a very good gank. Unfortunately, she picks up the Fiora there, which is a bit unfortunate. I'm just going to wait for my Q here. Walks into isolation, pick up another kill, and the wave is still in a very good spot for Fiora. Unfortunately, she goes down, but it is what it is. We get 2 kills right off the bat, and I have hardly been farming here. I've taken 4 camps, and I'm about to do another gank here and hit level 4 off the crab, and we're just gonna go mid and gank this. It's crazy how aggressive we're being early game here, and it's just working out really nicely for us here. I probably should have jumped here. Unfortunately, she's just way faster than us, so she can easily just W over the wall here and live. And I'm going to try going the Wukong here, but no, I don't have my leap up, don't have anything, so I'm just going to have to back off here. And we are going to dip into a recall here, except that my brand is spam pinging me for a gank, and this actually, I mean, it seems like it wouldn't work for me. I feel like this is a terrible idea, but I mean, Cog is just kind of dancing. I don't really know what he's doing there, and I end up getting another kill, which is really huge, actually. That was enormous for us because we have 1800 gold now. We got the treasure hunter stack, You know what that means, baby? We can instantly start building into the Sunfire. So that is very nice. Also, I forgot to mention, typically you want to run Ghost instead of Flash with this build. I just didn't really know that until Fade was like, hey, take Ghost next time. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, okay, makes sense. So yeah, double longsword into Balmy Cinder. And the reason you want Ghost is because obviously you want to ramp up the Sunfire damage. And so you kind of, it's very good to have Ghost so you can kind of keep up and stay on top of the enemy. And I think that was kind of an issue that I had this game. It was that, well, sometimes I couldn't really stay on top of the enemy because I didn't have any like extra utility to help me stay mobile. So yeah, that's one mistake I did this game. Needed to take Ghost, but it is what it is. Okay, I'm gonna look for another gank here potentially. And unfortunately, this is warded. I mean, I pretty much knew it was warded because I saw Riven place a ward, but I was going to try anyway. But it's okay, no big deal. But at this point, I really need to be starting to kind of just farm and probably get my level 6 ASAP. But then, oh, watch this, man. Kiana actually tries to go on me here. Full on combos me and shit, and then I'm going to have to just jump out. Wukong tries to flash on me. But what's this? I'm not dying. Yep. They really didn't expect the Balmy Cinder Kha'Zix to be so tanky. I was actually just dying here. It was so funny to me, the fact that I live there because of the fact that I bought Balmy Cinder, and then Akali can just pick up the Wukong. It's absolutely hilarious to me. I feel like I should have died 100% there if I was just going regular Kha'Zix build. But I mean, obviously I can flash earlier and stuff, so maybe not, but still, it's just funny that I held on for that long. It just, I don't know, man. This build is so funny to me. It's just hilarious. Like, I've never really like explored tank Kha'Zix too much, so it's like, it's really hilarious to see that with this durability update. Assassins are just fucking going tank items now. Like, I've seen Chase Shaka run, like, Kemp Tank Shaka, and I was like, bro, is this really what it's come to? Are we really building tank items on Assassins now? No, please no. Please let it not be this meta. But, you know, we're just gonna have to see. The good thing is that Assassin items are getting buffed, so there's that too. Alright, here I'm figuring out what to buy because I have so little component space, inventory space for this build. We are evolving R first. This is pretty self-explanatory. R is just basically, it just synergizes really well with Sunfire, and of course, like, we get that extra utility to set up ganks and stuff and just be very unkillable in fights. So yeah, you pretty much always want the R evolve with this build. You definitely want to make sure that you're kind of dancing around the enemy and just burning them with the Sunfire. That's kind of how you play this build, and yeah, it's pretty damn fun. So a solo kill on Fiora, which is unfortunate, but I'm going to look for the Riven here to try and punish. And yeah, she walks up a little too far. I missed my W. Love to see that. And I'm just gonna disrespect her and just burn her to death. But then, like, she's not dying. I thought my Balmy Cinder would just hard kill her there, but I guess not. It is what it is. I don't really know how Balmy Cinder works. I won't lie. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm meant to auto attack to actually start the burn or what. I was just under the assumption that if you were in combat, it would just burn everything around you. So yeah, that's. I was just having some fun there, you know. It is what it is. So I'm going to just go into my camps here. I am trying to push towards the Sunfire now, just so I can start showing off the build a little bit. And yeah, I think we're about like 400 gold away from it, which is actually not too bad. You can see that the 3 stacks of Treasure Hunter are doing really well in helping us get that, like, go towards the early Sunfire. And I feel like it is pretty important to have this rune with this build. Obviously you can play without it, but I imagine the building process would be a lot harder to deal with. Okay, so we're going to look for a gank here, even though we basically have nothing to work with here. We dodged the Kiana ulti, and she's just going to run straight up the river. Fiora is just completely ignoring the Kiana. I feel like we could have just done something there, but Riven's trapped over the wall. Now she flashes over. I'm going to walk up here, and I'm just going to R straight forward. and try and get closer. And we're just going to start hitting the Wukong here. He's going to go into his clone. I'm going to jump, get him in isolated Q, and then he's just going to walk into ISO once again with nothing up, and I'm going to finish him off there. So, the good thing is that we're tanky. I mean, that's about it, man. Like, any Kha'Zix build could do what we did there. No issues. So, the strength of the Sunfire has not really been noticed yet. But we do finally pick it up. And now is where the fun starts, baby. Yes, let's go. I was super hyped. We're 4-0 and we have Sunfire. So, I really wanted to limit test this. I do make a few mistakes in that. I mean, I don't really know how this build works. So, I'm like, okay, like, how strong am I, really? And you gotta realize, like, Sunfire, it gives you a bit of everything. Like, gives you armor, health, you know, magic resist, haste, a bit of everything. And of course, you got the burn damage. So, it's really just, it's honestly, like, when I was playing with it, it's very well-rounded, I feel like. Like, you just get a bit of everything with Sunfire, which is really interesting. Like, you get some damage and defensive stats and CDR. Like, I actually feel like it just feels really nice, you know? And I think if you try this build, you'll notice that, you know, wow, this actually feels really good. Like, look at the damage I was doing on the Herald. Not too shabby at all with the Sunfire. But yeah, I'm going to walk down here because I feel like they were going to do Herald Dragon. So I think we could contest that quite easily. But then I'm just going to decide to go for a gank here. Kiana stealths, which is unfortunate, and she dashes through me. That's my bad. And we're just going to dive over there, and the Kali's going to pick up the kill quite nicely. And I'm going to just drop the Herald there. I'm just begging this Wukong to go on me here because I'm like, I really want to test how tanky I am, etc. Especially with Red Smite. So it's going to be interesting to me. I try and Q the Wukong, but somehow I Q the minion. And, you know, that is what it is. And we're just going to back off there after getting some Herald Gold. And now we wonder what to do. Brand is pinging the dragon. So I'm like, okay, I don't really want to do this because it's a bit risky. But it should be fine if we can just burst it down fast enough. Come on, Sunfire, hurry up and burn the shit out of it. Let's go. And we do manage to get it. I don't want to go any further, obviously, because I'm like 600 HP. And I want to go back and take my camps because I haven't farmed in a while. So I just decided to W here, and I'm testing the burnout on the camps. We see the Wukong here. I am not scared of this guy. But I do walk up a little too far. He does flash on me as well, which is unfortunate. I managed to W heal at the last second, flash out. And Kiana's just going to ignite me. And I don't know what they're doing. Like, what are they doing, man? Why are they diving me when the Akali is right there? That makes no sense to me. I was like, what the fuck are these guys doing? Hello? I guess they were just so intimidated by the Sunfire that they were like, nah, man, this guy is too much. He's too big of a threat. Like, we can't let this Sunfire Kha'Zix pop off like this. This is just not right. So, yeah. Notice how I survived quite a long time there because of the Sunfire. It was actually really nice. I really think that Sunfire is a very good option against Wukong in particular, because with Wukong it's very hard to get your regular combo off on him because he's always knocking you up and he goes invis and shit. Like, it's very hard to play against a Wukong normally with an assassin Kha'Zix. So that's why I like bruiser builds into Wukong in particular. And here I'm actually just trying to use the Sunfire to burn both of the camps at the same time. This is what you want to do if you have some sort of AoE. It's very useful. Bam. And here I'm going to look for something. We're just going to try go for a lane gank here. I feel this is kind of a risk because this Riven has actually become quite strong now. But oh well. And we're just going to try do something here. And we slow her with a passive auto. And unfortunately, the Fiora is going to go down. It was a bit of an int by me, but oh well. I mean, it's not an int, but I do screw over the Fiora just a little bit. And we do pick another kill up for ourselves, which is okay, I guess. So, yeah. Not too bad at all. And honestly, like, I don't know how, because it doesn't feel like you're doing much damage. But then somehow the enemy's just dying in front of you. And it's like, well, how did they die? Like, I haven't been doing shit. It feels like my abilities do no damage, right? But then over time, you know, it adds up, I suppose. And we're just going to full clear here, I think. Haven't really had too much time to farm in this game, like excessively, but we do want to go for our level 11 here. And we see the Qiyana bot, so I'm obviously going to try and go down here and counter it. But they don't end up really doing anything there. So I'm like, okay, we got enough time to go for our Krogs. And the enemy, our bot lane's going to go for the Kog'Maw in the bot lane. He is going to go down, but they're both going to get collapsed on by Qiyana, who is still here, does a nice flash and kills the brand. But I'm here with my AWeLV, and she walks straight into me, just a nice little passive auto, and dead. And I don't know where the Lulu went. I was very confused. I guess she just ran back into a tower, which is fine, but I assume she was still in the bush there. But fair play to the Lulu there, I guess. And with that, with like everyone basically dead, I decided to go here and take the tower, just because, well, I think this is first tower, right? I think it's first tower. Yeah, it is first tower. Nice. So we get first tower, and we also get a huge wave. And now I have so much gold, so we get our second item. And our second item is going to be Cleaver, which is pretty standard for a Bruiser Kha'Zix build. It's pretty standard. You often see it on AWildShinyKha, Kha'Zix, etc. So in a way, this build is very similar to AWildShinyKha Kha'Zix, except obviously we're running Sunfire and going a little more tanky. And you can see that I've got the CR boots as well. And on top of that, we are going for Anathemas. So Anathemas is an item that Fade really emphasized in his guide. Yeah, he said Anathemas is a pretty good choice on this build. Very good value, and it'll just make you unkillable against a certain enemy, basically. So we're going to be going for that next. And this is an unfortunate part, man. Alright, so I'm going to RFO onto the Riven here. I'm making sure to get my W slow off first, but then she's got flash. And I'm like, okay, no issues. I'm going to W slow her again. Wait until she's in isolation, but she just keeps CCing me like 500 times. And I'm like, alright, let's limit test. I'm fucking diving this bitch. I'm diving this bitch, and yeah, well, I mean, that's just sad, isn't it? Like, oh man. I was a bit annoyed there because to me it was like, there's no way this champ just CCs me like 5 times and gets away. There's no way, man. But I just, yeah, I forgot to, I realized that towers do increase damage, so tower diving is a lot harder nowadays, so you definitely don't want to be doing that against the Riven. Yeah, my bad, I guess. That was just me limit testing. It's all good. We learn from our mistakes, etc. But yeah, my team is dying and they actually vote for surrender vote. I'm like, bro, relax, man. I'm Sunfire Kha'Zix. Do you not realize? Do you not realize how insane this build is? Right? 1v9 potential. Nah. Definitely an interesting build though. And at this point, like, since we have the Cleaver, we're basically, I don't know, man. We're basically like really fucking strong. We have so much shred and damage over time, like it's just nuts. And I see the Riven here, and I'm like, okay, sure, I'll help out the Fiora here. And Fiora is good enough to run towards me. We're just gonna WEQ auto attack her there, and we're just gonna burn her down with pretty much everything we have. And notice that our Qs and our abilities are actually doing decent damage now, because of the fact we have the Cleaver. So yeah, no issues with damage. Like, it's really surprising that we wouldn't have damage issues. I mean, it's not so surprising considering our items, but you know, it's just really interesting to see. And we are going to go into the Herald here. I do want to make sure I finish this. I don't really know why the enemy is walking up so far here, but I am going to manage to pick this up. Wukong's going to try contest it, but I'm going to get it in time. And Fiora's going to take a bit of a beating, but it's fine. Wukong has nothing because he used his W for no reason. We're just going to go straight on the Lulu here. And I'm going to just burn her to death and stand next to her while in Viz. Burn, bitch. And she's going to go down to the brand. And I fail my jump here, which has been unfortunate. Flash auto Q on the Kog'Maw. And I'm just going to just shit on the Qiyana as well. And Brand is going to pick her up as well. So, my guy, we are so tanky and we do like so like I've been saying like a lot. Let's stop. We've been doing just crazy damage for this kind of build, and on top of that being unkillable. It's just so fun, man. It's so fun. I loved playing this build. It was great. I definitely recommend that you guys try it out because it is very, very funny. It is very funny to play. And it's just a nice take on a different kind of Kha'Zix build, you know? On top of that, I actually feel like it works really well in this meta because everyone's so tanky and durable. So, you know, I'm willing to call it viable, but who knows, man? This is only like the first game I played with it. We'll have to see. Okay. Okay, so we have the anathemas changed now, and I'm wondering who to bind it to. So I make a mistake here. Well, I haven't binded anyone yet, but what you should be doing with the anathemas is bind. You need to bind it to whoever does percentage damage. In this case, I should be binding it to Cogmore, but I make a mistake, and in this game I bind it to Riven because I saw her as like the biggest threat. Yeah, but you definitely want to make sure you're binding to the person who does percentage damage on the enemy team. That is very important because percentage damage is the one thing that will completely screw you over with this build, and you'll see that this game. Okay, so everyone's topside, and I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm just gonna run it down mid with the Herald. Just kidding, I'm gonna go down and actually fight. And I'm wondering how the fuck do I use this item? How do I chain someone? So I chain the Riven. There we go. I've never bought this item before. Literally never. Since it came out, I've never bought it. Alright, so I'm gonna loop around here with the wind terrain, and I'm gonna join the Akali in this fight. It's so free. Bro, I'm so strong. I'm gonna W the whole team, and me and Akali are just gonna go to town. Twitch is gonna come in as well, and we're just gonna run up to the Wukong, start burning everyone. What's up? And we're just like... They're just taking damage from something they can't even see. And it's so beautiful to witness. Like, it's so fun. It's actually hilarious how you can just run around, you know, you W the whole team, you slow them, and then you have your 3 casts of AWevolve to kind of just run around while in Viz, and you're dealing damage while being in Viz. It's hilarious, man. It's hilarious. And seriously, man, try this build out. It's so funny. But keep in mind that make sure to buy the double longsword first before you get the Sunfire, because of course you're going to be kind of weak without some AD early game. But yeah, we do decide to go for the Baron here, and that is going to be it. Pick up the Baron, recall, and I'm wondering what to get. Just kidding, we're going to go Kempunk. Kempunk is good for obvious reasons. You have your W evolve, so you can apply Grievous to a lot of people. In this case, it's good for Riven and Wukong. And yeah, that's kind of why I bought it, pretty much. And so I'm playing pretty aggressive here. I'm going to play some... I'm just going to jump straight in, W-evolve the Cog and Lulu, and I'm just going to start going to town. Going to start getting the Sunfire proccing. Bam. Unfortunately, we don't have a team here. But Bran just instantly flashes in. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. But, you know, we are doing some decent damage. We pick up 2 kills. It works out. And... Fiora's going to be in trouble here against the Kiana. Twitch is going to pick up the Cog, and I'm just like, I'm being very scared here. I should just go straight in. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm saving my leap just in case because they're so mobile. But we do pick them up quite easily. And I don't know, man. At some point, I will check the Sunfire damage, and it'll be a decent amount. So, it's Sunfire. What can I say, man? Very, very interesting build. For sure. We get the ace and we pick up the dragon. Now, what do we do next? I don't fucking know. We just use more Sunfire, I guess. Like, that's the only purpose I have in this game, is to just burn people with Sunfire. It's hilarious, man. Okay, so Fiora's gonna get that in the mid lane, and we don't really have much else to do right now, so I feel like I'm gonna just recall. Just kidding. Yes, recall. I don't know, man. I feel like it's a good time to recall because I have 1300 gold, but we'll see what happens. Oh yes, right. I decide to go in. I go on the Wukong here, and I'm just gonna CC him with my slows, and I'm gonna go on the Lulu next. Jump on the Lulu. She's gonna go down as well, and that is. I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, we're unkillable. They can't touch us. Oh right. Here's why you should chain the Cog. Yeah, that's why you should chain Cogmore. Even though he's so behind, well, he has 2 items now, he can destroy us with percentage damage. So you want to make sure you're chaining the percentage damage dealer. Very important. Or just the champion that does the most damage to you, you know? Very, very important, though. So we are back, and I'm figuring out what to build for my last item. So Fade said that there's a few options. You can go either Titanic Hydra for like raw damage, which is pretty good, or you can go like more defensive. And so I'm deciding like, okay, yeah, we'll try the Titanic Hydra here, but I end up changing this later in the game. Sorry, spoiler alert. My bad, but yeah. Okay. And I'm pretty sure I start chaining the cog at some point here, which is pretty important. It would just let us take less damage. Excuse me. But yeah, no fear, just gonna jump straight in here. This is the Cogmore. He's getting destroyed by the Twitch here. Just gonna jump here. I was trying to jump on the Lulu, but I made a big mistake there. I just jumped straight into a Kion ulti, which is really unfortunate, and I'm gonna get sniped by the Riven there. So yeah, my bad. The thing is with this build, you can't really do that assassin kind of playstyle. I mean, you can. It's just like, well, you probably shouldn't. You should just stay on the ground, you know, be a skirmisher and hit whoever's in front of you and let your team do the rest. So yeah, that was my bad there. Okay, so we're back, and I decided to sell the Tiamat for a Warden's Mail. This will just let me survive a little bit longer. And I planned on going, I think, Frozen Heart, which was, to me, seemed like a good choice against that heavy AD team. But yeah. Have I chained the cog yet? I haven't. Goddamn. Hurry up, chain the goddamn cog. Hello? Okay, well, I guess not. I'm just gonna go straight in yet again, and we deal some decent damage to the cog. He's gonna go down from my team, and we're just gonna try and go straight in. Just kidding. I mean, like, they fucking burnt everything for me here. Literally everything. And that is pretty much it, guys. So, yeah, I mean, it just goes to show how much you can bait out abilities and shit with this build, because you're so damn tanky. I guarantee enemy team did not expect that. But yeah, guys, try this build out. It's hilarious. It's actually hilarious. It's so much fun to play, and it's actually pretty damn good. I hope you guys enjoyed. Credits to Fade for this build, aka AWildShinyKha, and I will see you guys next time. See ya.